Okay, hi guys. I'm going to speak a lot slower on this tutorial, and today is Thursday. So the first tutorials I've made before talking to you guys today, and then after I re-listened to my tutorials, I was going through them all fast because I know that I must speak really quickly when I'm seeing you guys, but not when I'm sending you tutorials. So this tutorial is about plugins. What plugins do? Plugins add functionality to your theme. What is the functionality? I will show you a really simple basic WordPress. I've created this for you guys. So there's no functionality. There's nothing. Just words. Nothing here. Functionality are things that make it do something extra. Maybe something like a calendar, Google Maps. I added a video. That's not a widget. It's a video embed. I also have a video for you for that. Things that make it do something extra. So I'm gonna go into that for this tutorial. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, I'm only using Metro Grace only because it was an easy one for me to conquer. It's not that I'm favoring Metro Grace or FCSS. It's just that Metro Grace was an easier one to assess and tear apart and build up and build back down again from a developer's perspective. Okay, so plugins. How do you add plugins? How do you know you want a plugin? Let's say someone says they want a I can't think of anything at the moment. I'm drawing a blank. Let's just go through the plugins and let's go to add a plugin. They add a certain functionality, something that you don't have to code it yourself. So let's just go to the popular ones. Let's see what we got. Contact form 7. If someone needed a contact form inside of their, that page that says contact us now. This is our address. This is how you find us. We need your phone number and your address. Here's a form for that. You don't have to do anything for that. Oh, SEO, search engine optimization. Instead of actually doing all the search engine optimization with the code, this actually does it for you in the back end. A Kismet WP Cache. I want to show the difference between one that's a functionality of the theme and then one that you actually use in the widget area. So what a plugin can do is increase the functionality of the theme itself, the whole entire website. So I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to pick Jetpack by WordPress. So I want you to take a look here. I'm going to install. The way you install it is you just install. I am giving a quick rundown. Matter of fact, let me just stop. Before you pick a plugin, you want to research it. How many stars does it have? Is it good? Let me find out about it. You click details. If this details is filled out with an installation, a screenshot, and some information, it's probably one you want to use, because if someone doesn't tell you how to use it, then why should I use your stuff? Okay, so give you a screenshot. Basically, the screenshot tells you how to use it. That's really awesome if you're using something that you don't know how to use. Okay, so let's pretend we read all that information and we know what it says and we like it. This adds like this really supercharges WordPress. So before, when I said that a theme framework can supercharge WordPress, well, this can do it as well. So I'm going to install now. I'm going to activate. Okay. So your Jetpack is almost ready. Connected to WordPress.com. So we need to connect it. And I hope they don't ask me for any more information to connect it. Not all plugins will do this, but this Jetpack, username. I think this is it. Okay, I think I got my password right. Cool. All right. See, now look at all this stuff. If you want it, when you're a business, sometimes stats is important to you. especially if you wanted to find out how many times someone's coming to your site or what they're looking at, if they're going to overload your server, things like that. To be able to push things out to Facebook and Twitter without you having to do it through Facebook and Twitter. Notifications. See, this added more functionality to the theme itself. Well, it didn't to the theme framework or the actual WordPress, but it didn't do anything here. But it did some other stuff here. So the website itself is not just a placeholder for that template that shows on the front end. This is where you can run business, post emails, all kinds of stuff that you can do back here. So that's an example of custom CSS, beautiful math, all kinds of extra stuff. You don't need to know that at the moment, but this is just to give you an overview of what a plugin is, because if you install a plugin and it doesn't work, you're like, why doesn't it work? Or it doesn't work the way I think it should work. So I want to add a plugin to my that gives me the stats, like how many times somebody comes to my page. I want one of those, and I want to put it in my widget bar. Remember, the widget was the sidebar. In this theme right here, sidebar is a different spot, but it was in a sidebar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to the plugins, and I'm going to find a plugin. I don't know the name of these plugins. I usually just figure out what it is that I want, and usually that plugin is there. That's what's great about open source. So what did I say I wanted? Stat counter. I don't know if that's right. WordPress stats view counter. Stats view Jetpack. You know what? It already knows I have. Okay, so I'm going to use this WordPress hit counter. What I was just doing when I got silent was I was reading to see what it does. What I wanted to do specifically is I wanted to add this to the sidebar. Remember, plugins can add functionality to the site itself or to the sidebar. Like, why you keep mentioning the sidebar? So I'm about to show you what it's about to do. Right here it says this plugin allows you for a number of different styles. You can embed in the footer or activate it as a sidebar widget. That's what I said I wanted to do. I'm just going to pretend like I read all the details of it. I love it. I think it's great. So I'm just going to install now. Sometimes some plugins don't work with some themes, and that's just because of how it was developed. So you may have to just find another plugin or I wouldn't pick a new theme, but there's always another plugin. At the same time while that's downloading, if you're looking for plugin for WordPress, so if you're looking for a something from WordPress and you want a plugin, or you type in the name of it, plugin for WordPress, and you'll see a couple of things that show up here. These plugins will also show up here as well. Let's activate. It will show up here as well, but let's just say you didn't want to do that there. You were just searching online, thought you wanted something great, show your points for your game or something. All right, so the plugin is activated because it says deactivated, and you can tell if it's active or not just by that it's dark. The bullet print. Okay, so where are the widgets? It's an appearance. Anything that changes something about it is appearance. So widgets. Remember that widget, we called it a sidebar, and in this theme it had a home page sidebar. You know what? I just realized that I showed you this tutorial and speed with no sound. So anyway, let's just pretend that I told you about this is the home page and this was the sidebar, and they have a home page sidebar. I'll just show you this. This is text, links, and pages. I may be repeating some things because I'm creating videos in less than 24 hours and editing them before tomorrow, so I might be repeating stuff. So text, links, pages. Let's go to the actual page and say some text, these are links, and these are pages. So I know where this is by what's here. Okay, that's a little cheat sheet. Let me rephrase that. I'm going to remove these. Okay, so this theme has a section that is widgetized. So basically, if you want to add something to this section, they have a section of it, homepage, and we call it widgetized because it's only going to take widgets in it. And for this theme, it's only going to take specific widgets. So what I did was I read about this theme, and you'll see in the other video, I read about this theme and saw, okay, how do you make that homepage work? So I took these things called some pages, links, wrong one, pages, links, and some text. Because I was just wanting to show where these things were. I'm just going to hit the oops. And so those things showed up there. Now, I want to add some type of functionality. I want to see how many people visit this site. So I know I just downloaded something called the stat counter or something like that. So I'm going to look for that on this widget area. I should have pointed out that in the widgets, all you do is just click and drag. Okay, so let me see if I see that thing that says something about the stat counter. Oh, there we go. WordPress hit counter. I'm going to take that one out. Now, like I said, some widgets work with some themes. Not all the time that's true. I'm taking that one out because you can only put 3 widgets in this area. Please go to settings, hit counter to configure the sidebar widget. They're giving me directions and I'm going to follow it. Set hit counter to 3. Exclude IP addresses from. Display hit counter and footer. Give plugin author credit. No. Check for updates automatically. Yes. Count visits from WP admin. No. We don't have a pad with zeros. Cool. Count only unique visitors. Nah. How do you want this counter to look? We'll use this one. Or something that kind of looks like the site looks like. And then we're going to find the save button. And then we're going to hit save changes. I'm going to hit the refresh button. Let's see if it worked. It didn't show up. There we go. Boom. So, awesome. So we added a stat counter. We didn't have to run any code or anything. The question may come up, well, what plugins to use? You'll find out what plugins to use when you have to add functionality to the site. Functionality is something that's not just plain words and pictures. The client may want the site to do something. If they want it to do something and you don't know how to do it, probably just type in something plugin for WordPress and it will show up. So that's a quick, brief thing for plugins. All right, that's it.